Another new plane to give a little test to today. The Falcon 2000, which is a freeware one from the Explain.org website. And seems okay from the outside. It looks quite nice. Yeah, I'll just cut out the taxiing to the end of the runway. Got 3 stages of flaps. One stage should do us, I think. Throttles don't appear to move. I can hear the engine noise increasing, so the piece of hardware throttle lever that I have on my desk, that's working. It's just the throttle levers in here in the cockpit don't appear to be doing anything, which is a little disappointing, but never mind. We obviously do have control over the engine power, even if the animation of the levers isn't doing anything, so we can still go flying, or hopefully. And let's find out, shall we? Yep, we're up. Yeah, doing okay. Yeah, it seemed to take off well enough. First few seconds of flight, it feels okay, stable, no problem there. Yeah, make a turn from here at Fakatane, which is where we've just taken off from, and we can head over to Rotorua, as that's fairly close by, and that will do for a short test flight. Big enough asphalt runway there where we should be fine for landing something like this. Yeah, just looking around. It is very very freeware, isn't it? Yeah, there's instruments and things, but there's large slabs of very flat colour in here. Obviously, with it being a glass cockpit aircraft, I'm not going to be particularly impressed, but even those screens don't really give me the feeling of glass screens. Flying okay though, and as usual, by the way, only going to bother hand flying, so no idea about the autopilot, any other automation or anything like that. QR code on the cup holders saying fuel my projects. Okay, not going to try and scan that, but I'll take a guess if you did scan it, the QR code probably takes you to the author's PayPal account or something like that. Okay, and some people put in their upload descriptions of the org forum about making donations to them. This is something a little different and new, where the plane itself is now begging for you to send cash. As for my feelings on that, I'm going to shut up at this point, or there will be a 10-minute rant, which is likely to involve the word fuck quite a lot. So yeah, let's just leave it at that, shall we? Yeah, well, as for stuff I don't mind paying for though, known about this one for quite a while, that there's a guy making a Yak 18T, and apparently flies one himself. Now, I do quite like the freeware version of that plane which I've got, which I think may have been an X-Plane 10 original aircraft, so it's quite old. The modern payware version, yeah, I'll be taking a close look at that whenever that one does come out. No idea when that will be though. But as for something which is scheduled to be out fairly soon, and was a bit of a surprise when it was announced, the X-Plane 12 version of the FlyJSim 737-200. And I do owe them a full and unreserved apology, it seems, as I genuinely thought, and have said in a few various videos, that I didn't think that was ever going to show up and they'd abandoned it. So yeah, total apology, as they haven't given up on it, and I'm very much looking forward to getting my hands on that one. Yeah, definitely a fan of that in X-Plane 11. Used it quite a lot there, mostly unrealistically, and it was my big jet-powered general aviation bird, and not exactly real-life operations. But I'm sure you know by now that I have fun with X-Plane in my own way, and yeah, very much looking forward to having it back again, and yeah, seeing which dirt strip airports it will fit into in Palawan or things like that, maybe. Yeah, I have missed it, as that was one that didn't survive the update from X-Plane 11 to 12. Yeah, a lot of planes do work from the X-Plane 11 era, or maybe just had minor things wrong with them that you can live with, but the 737 died completely. Something going on with the engines where they simply wouldn't work at all, and don't know about you, but I've always found that having engines to be quite an important part of the 737, yet it's sort of an integral thing to its operation. Okay, weird question just popped into my head thinking about engines. Right then, you're going to need something that can get airborne at lower speeds, that Piper Cub, or probably something even smaller than that. Now, if you stuck a mast and a sail on top of it like a boat, okay, I'm just thinking this through as we're going along, the added weight of that is probably going to kill the idea. So let's go with science fiction, where you now have a large ship's sail built out of some brand new sci-fi technology which weighs nothing at all, so you don't have to worry about the extra weight of it anymore. So just from an aerodynamic point of view, could you fly a plane with a sail on it using wind power as your propulsion? Yeah, the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm heading towards the conclusion that there's probably a very good reason why nobody has tried it in real life. Probably quite a few very good reasons, actually. Okay, Rotorua then, it's just over to our right. Correction, to our left. We're saying earlier about engines being quite an important part of flying. Knowing your left from your right is usually quite high up there on the list of flying skills as well, isn't it? Shut up. Putting the landing gear down, hold on. That's it. Yeah, a bit of a slippery little aeroplane with this one. Wasn't slowing down very well, so doing a bit better now with air brakes, flaps and gear. Don't know the speeds I need for approach and touchdown, so going to aim for 120, 130, something like that. Guessing that's probably in the ballpark of the airspeeds for a plane like this. Yeah, 130 knots, so a little high for I'm just thinking about my wind sail powered aircraft again. Yeah, those kind of wind speeds, we may be able to land my plane with a sail, but we then find the roof of the terminal has been blown off with the 130 knots of wind out there, and being blown off is only a good thing in very specific circumstances. Yeah, lined up okay with the runway, a little bit high, but we can deal with that. Plane still feeling nice to be fair, it has been a nice thing to fly so far, just from the feel of it. With the look of things in here in the cockpit, I do know this is going to be the one and only flight though, and I will be deleting it from the hangar as soon as we land, but worth a try. Yeah, not seen this airport in real life, but I have been to Rotorua, and I know there are destinations with the reviews like things to do in Wellington or whatever. Well, the must-do thing in Rotorua is try and catch a really bad cold before you arrive, so that your sense of smell isn't working properly. The geothermal activity around here, it does have a bit of an aroma, shall we say. Not nice enough place once you get past that. Let's see what we can do. Let's gentle it off. Speed brakes, reversers, everything. That's slowing down very quickly, so cool. Yeah, happy enough with that for a landing. It went quite smoothly for a first ever go in this aircraft. And as I said earlier, a last ever go in this one too. It's okay, it handles quite well, it's just not for me though. Right, we'll go and park up here, as that looks like an available spot that we can stick ourselves in. That will do for today. Lovely, so Vakatani to Rotorua, Falcon 2000 tested, and the wind-powered aircraft plan probably not such a good idea after all, but what is always a good idea? Coffee. I'm off to go and make one. I'll see you again soon. Bye.